take it. Always try to give. Don't ever take it. Hey y'all, welcome back to Two Peas in the Podcast with Stephanie
and Crystal.
Y'all, we got a good one for y'all today. We got a really good one for y'all today.
Take a seat.
What are we talking about, Crystal?
Friends. How many of us have them?
Friends.
That's what we're going. We getting on into
Ones you
it.
can depend on. I know he said something about funny and want to borrow money or whatever he said. Whatever the song say.
Took me because that's the only part I know. So.
But yes, y'all, today's topic is about friendship. All of us have friends.
Yes.
Or we have experienced something dealing with friends.
In a friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this will be a relatable topic for everybody listening today.
Yes. So come on in. Tap in.
Yep. Y'all come on in and get in on this conversation that we're about to have today. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's talk, y'all. Let's talk.
I don't know. When it comes to this friendship, this is a tricky topic.
Okay.
You know?
Let's see. Okay. Let's start with seasonal friends. Is there a such thing as seasonal friends? Do you have seasonal friends?
I mean, but first, what is friends or friendships?
What does friendship mean to you?
I mean, because, like, what is a friend?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can start there. What is a friend?
I need to know what a friend is.
I mean, we're going to double back. What is a friend? What do you say is a friend to you? Like, what's a friend?
When I think of a friend, I think of what the song say. Somebody that I can depend on. Somebody that will be.
I don't know the song, by the way.
Great.
I just know
how you sing a song you don't know?
I just know that part. I told
From
you
what,
that.
next Friday?
Yes.
That's my movie. Okay. But when I think of a friend, I think of someone who I can have fun with. I love to laugh and I love to just enjoy a lot of things. I love to be positive. So somebody who's positive, somebody who know how to laugh and have fun, somebody who can support me and I can support them.
Yeah.
Not somebody who is a yes man. But can tell me, can keep it real with me.
That's it.
All the time. Not just like if you want to hurt my feelings, you think it's going to hurt my feelings. No. Keep it real with me all the time.
No stepping on eggshells.
Right. Because I want to be the same way with you. I want to be able to say friend or, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
This is what I think or, whatever the case is. So somebody who is honest with me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who can chill with me, who can also go out with me, somebody that's understanding, somebody that's open-minded.
What do you call open-minded as a friend?
Open to new things. Like you're not judgmental. You know how sometimes if you're closed-minded, you can be judgmental. Like, girl,
I would never do that.
Yeah, I would. Like, what made you want to do that? Or like, if we go somewhere, I want you to be like, oh, let's try this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do different foods.
Yeah,
let's go different places. Let's experience new things. Or when it comes to careers, things like that. Girl, you would do that? I would never do that. Or men you're dating, girl, I would never do. You just don't know
until it's you.
So somebody who is not negative, like if you are negative all the time, like I just genuinely would not be around you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I mean, my list can go on and on and on, and it definitely can go on and on. So I'm gonna stop myself right there.
Okay, I'll take that. Well, I think for me, a friend is, I like the realness. I like the true, being honest, supportive. Not really like-minded, but in the terms of like being better, if that makes sense. Like we build off each other. Like I love like business friends that can kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen like Cash Doll and her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they I think Kendra is the one that bought Cash Doll's hair company or vice versa, something like that. I don't know, but one of them supported the other business, got them
Right.
off the ground, and then the other one double backed and supported her.
Mhm.
That type of thing. I'm all for that type of friendship. Caring, I feel like matters in a friendship.
Yeah.
Supportive. Did I say that already?
I think so in the beginning.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that actually matters to me. Like you said, somebody I can be myself around. I can laugh with, joke with. Um, feels like family, you know.
Yeah, oh, big on the feels like family.
Yeah. Everybody say loyalty, but I mean that's neither here nor there.
So, and I don't want to get off topic and say like what is loyalty, because that's just like everybody asking a question like, would you rather love or loyalty? You know, it's, I don't know. You know, everybody's opinions is different.
Yeah. Loyalty. When I say that, I'm not saying like, oh, I need you to be a ride or die, like a yes man type person. No. Loyalty means like I don't want to be in a situation between you and somebody else, and I feel like you're picking a side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be honest. Like if I'm in the wrong, tell me I'm in the wrong. Like you said, you know.
Yeah.
That type of thing. What else can I think of in a friend I would like? That would be it. You know, I would say that would be it for me.
So we have similar, you know, things that we look for in a friend.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you show that you are a good friend?
To me, I think I show up. Like I really show up.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that matters to me because I feel like if I could show up for you, you can show up for me. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to show up for all my friends in the same way. So I think that what matters to me in a friendship.
Yeah.
Is showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that loyalty comes in.
Yeah.
Because it's that constant support.
Yeah.
That you show, you know, as a friend.
Yeah.
I think for me, how I show that I'm a good friend is being like that support system.
Yeah.
And always being honest. Like, I'm going to be honest no matter what. I mean, I don't care what it is. You can guarantee, like, if you come to me, you're going to get 100% honesty. Because I feel like it's important.
Yes.
You're not going to have to double back and say, well, you could have just told me. You should have just said. And it's a way to say everything. And I feel like communication is key when you have to, you know, be honest. So.
And I definitely think, like, I consider that a good friend. If your friend can't come to you and say, hey, friend, look, you messing up. Like, you in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have did this, that, and the third. Your intentions was wrong. Like, no, you need to go apologize. If your friend can't get on you like that, then that's not a friend. Like, that, y'all friendship to me is weird. Y'all weird.
So let's bring up that topic that you were talking about in the beginning about seasonal then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is a seasonal, like, well, you said seasons?
Seasonal friends. Friends.
So you mean like coming, like they come and go?
Just like seasons. They come and go. But, and then I'm meaning like certain people serve a certain purpose in your life for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So that's what I mean by seasonal. Some friends can be friends throughout high school, you know, on through college, from elementary, grade school, whatever. All those years of being friends. Then they get into adulthood and they start to drift away.
Yeah.
That's seasonal.
Yeah.
And that's okay if y'all drift away and then come back together. That happens. But there are some friends that are just there for that time, that moment, and that purpose, and that's it.
Do you think you can outgrow friends? Like, because I definitely think you can. Like, you know, some things you just don't agree with. And one thing that I thought about is adult friendship may look different than when you were a kid. It's gonna look totally different because you've experienced so much throughout those years that things are gonna be a lot different, and you might show up differently as a friend because an adult, you got way more to think about. So you can't just, you know, like when we were younger, we can just go places and do stuff. Everything was fun and spontaneous.
Yes. You ain't have the responsibilities like you have now.
Because I'm going to tell you, and now it's so much different. Like if I say I can't go or no, this is not the right time, I'm not being a bad friend. It's just
I can't make it. Right. Yeah.
And as a friend, I expect you to understand it and say, you know, oh, okay, well, you know, and she usually show up. So one time, because you know people, you can say yes a million times. And if you say no at one time, everybody and their mama gonna know about it. Yeah. For one. Yeah. All the other friends in the group gonna know about it. Yeah. For what? Yeah. You know, and that's what I don't like, you know.
That's true. I can agree. I'm with that. So with that being said, like you said, all the million yeses and then that one no. Mm-hmm. So do you think boundaries in friendships are necessary for things like that?
For sure. Now, I'm sure everybody knows by now how I do enforce boundaries. Yeah. And my no is no. Sometimes I might change my mind, but a lot of times it's for my mental well-being. And I enjoy being around my friends and I enjoy being around the friend group. But sometimes I need that space for myself. Sometimes if I'm uncomfortable with something, I'm okay with saying like, nah, you know, I just ain't rocking with that. Yeah. And, you know, y'all know I'm very upfront about that. Yeah. And I try to keep it like that, but respectable at the same time to say like, no, I'm not, it ain't just a no and I ain't trying to be present or I ain't trying to be supportive and all of this. But it's something, it's just me enforcing those boundaries or something is wrong.
That's good. That's good.
Or I just need this. Boundaries is creating a space between you and other people. Yes. That would be my definition of boundaries. Yeah. So sometimes I do. When it comes to friendships, relationships, any ships, I have to create that space for myself, and that's my protection, that's my safety, that's my self. Like, and I'm comfortable with that, and I'm comfortable with saying, hey, like, no, y'all, look, you know, I just got, you know, that's just me and my space to myself. These are my boundaries. And even if I don't say like boundaries to make it seem like, dang, like she trying to, you know,
she's so stern and
serious. Right. It's just me like, nah, you know, y'all, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna, you know, I'll catch y'all on the next round, or you know,
and that's cool. I don't feel like you have to explain that to nobody. Like that's your own personal preference. You know, that's your thing. And I feel like everybody should have them. I definitely think they are necessary. I recently am learning boundaries in my friendships, just because, like, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like some things get taken for granted or whatever the case may be. And so, I don't know. I just really heard strong to just put down some boundaries for myself, like you said. And what that may look like, I don't know. I can't tell you. It's just, you know, a boundary for me that I have to work on. Yeah. And like you said, I mean, saying no. Just plain out simple, saying no.
And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. I get that.
And that's a big part of boundaries is knowing when to say like, hey, I'm not okay with it, or hey, I need my space.
And that's the thing that like
and not feeling bad about it.
Yeah, the like saying, hey, I don't agree with it, or hey, I'm not okay with it. Like that was a big thing for me. Like I was one of those friends that would say my opinion, and then somebody else would speak up, and then I'd be like, well, it's whatever, it don't matter. You know, like I would downplay my thought for them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
I watched a podcast one day, and a lady, she was talking about friendships, and she was saying how we cannot minimize our own feelings just to make somebody else comfortable. And I was just like, girl.
That's a word.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a word.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a word. That is definitely
because we'll get so comfortable with trying to please other people that we put ourselves at the back, and that's how we don't show. We stop showing up for people. We start feeling bad. You know, you start distancing yourself. And if other people do not pick up on that, you gonna start saying like, oh, well, nah, they were never a friend. Oh, they were never a friend. No way. If they can't.
And it turns into you being burnt out, you getting drained, you pouring from an empty cup. So that brings me to, are friendships like relationships? Do they take time? Can you get burnt out? Can you break up? Like, I think friendships are like relationships. I do.
How so?
Because it takes time, effort. Just like our friendship. Like, we would have to put in time to say, hey, you want to go eat somewhere? You want to go do something? Like, that's putting effort out there to each other. Like, you just ain't gonna maintain a friendship and not ever talk, which is cool. Some people do that. Like, I got friends that I talk months at a time to. And when we do talk, we pick up like nothing has ever changed. Yeah. But it's the same. That's just the nature of our friendships. And I feel like different friendships have different natures to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And when I think about relationships being like friendships, it's all about like that same thing, like that support, that honesty, showing up. You know, even at times when you don't want
trusting a friend, that would be the main thing.
And so you still do a lot together. You see a lot of that friend. I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but
do you think too much time with a friend is
for sure
good or bad?
You ain't even have to finish
coming from a person who enforce boundaries.
Because sometimes like friends don't know when to step back, and you don't know when to enforce that boundary to tell them like, friend, you know, I need my own space.
I need some space.
Nobody wants a friend that's okay with being the third wheel.
Say it.
And okay, so just think about it.
Yes.
If you got two friends, y'all were best friends even before you got into this relationship. When your friend get into a relationship, how you think you gonna feel? Oh, you took my friend away from me. Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm just going to come with y'all. It's going to be from you going with them to him saying, or who,
why she always got to go? Why she always coming? Or why he always
coming? Oh, this one is just for us.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you feel uncomfortable. You're like, oh, I don't really want to tell her, or I don't really want to tell him that
But are adult friendships really doing that now?
I think it can happen.
That's crazy.
I've come across a lot of people who don't know about boundaries and who do not know how to enforce boundaries. It's really an issue.
That's true.
It's really an issue.
That's true.
And if you've never sat down and said, this is an issue, then you don't think it's an issue.
That's true. That is so true.
As long as I can third wheel, I'm a third wheel.
I'm not.
Now, I know my best friend, she okay with saying, nah, if it's a couple thing, I ain't going. Or if this and that, you know, I'm not going. Or who's going to be there?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're entitled to ask that question. Because I would ask the same question. And she know I ask her, who all going to be there? And not that it matters who's going to be there. I just need to know what the crowd is looking like.
Yeah, what I'm walking into. I get that. I can understand why. But some people ask that question on the sense of like, it matters to them who's going to be there.
Right. Now, I'm not going to show up for you if you say somebody is there that I don't like or something.
Yeah, now
I'm
that's
just not
different.
Rocking with.
That's different.
You know, I can come in, I can, you know, be cordial. I can, you know, I know who my loyalty is to, and I'm just like, I mean, I don't really have a lot of problems going places anyway. So I can definitely go, you know, somewhere. But I would never not say like, oh, I'm not coming because such and such is there.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
I mean, I always show up. Like I said, I mean, that's never been an issue for me. Ever. Like, I can go in a crowd and be okay.
Yeah.
I'm a chameleon when it comes to stuff like that.
So,
now, if I get in a situation where I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to leave.
That's something different.
Yeah, I'm going to leave. Like,
so let me ask you, how would you explain it to your friend? Like, if you feel uncomfortable, like your friend invited you somewhere, you felt uncomfortable, and you wanted to leave. Like,
that's
how
what
would
I'm
you
say.
Explain it?
I'm uncomfortable. We'll talk later, and I'm going to leave.
Do you think your friend should understand it?
I'm not going to put it on them to understand, but at least hear me. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm leaving, it's because I'm really uncomfortable. Like, I'm at a point where it ain't like on no petty stuff like, oh, I don't like her. She don't like me. We talk to the same person. She talked to this person. She talked to that person of my friend or whatever the case may be. Like, none of that. I don't care about none of that. But if I'm in a space where I just do not feel comfortable, I don't feel like I'm enjoying myself, I'm going to leave. Like, I can't do it. I can't fake it. That's the thing. Yeah. And that's what irritates me. And then that's when I get upset.
And I think as a friend, it would be hard for me to see my friend go. And I'll be like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
But as a friend, I will also be open-minded.
Exactly.
And say, well, oh, I'm going to talk to her later. Saying like, girl, why you leave that party? Why you leave? Or why you do this and that? Yeah. But then I'm also, that's just me. Like, we have a rapport at this point. We got a relationship.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I can come to you like that and say, girl, like, what you doing? Like, you just left. Like, you didn't say nothing. Or you know, what's going on?
Now, leaving and not saying nothing, that's different. I don't think you should just up and leave somewhere.
But like whatever the case may be, like if you said something or if you didn't say something, like I can come to you and be like, girl, like what happened? Like you
left
wrong?
Yeah.
So what's going on? And then I'll, you know, leave that space for you to say X, Y, and Z happened, girl. I just felt uncomfortable. Oh, okay, cool. Well, you stayed, you know, longer than I would have stayed. Or, you know, and then that's when y'all really get into that conversation to see like what happened, what's going on, you feeling okay? Because sometimes we'll make it about us and it ain't about it.
Exactly. You know? I agree to that.
Because I've gone places and I really didn't want to be there, you know, for long or something. And, you know, it's just like you force yourself to stay because you don't want people to say, oh, like you didn't stay, and oh,
she never show up.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been
Right.
through situations like that for sure.
And that just made me think of like seasons.
Yeah.
So I know before we talked about season, like friends coming and going, but what do you think about when friends are in different seasons? Well, like
Of life.
with their right seasons
Of
of life.
life.
Yeah, with like their feelings and emotions, things that's going on, like life is life, and
I think that happens. Like that's normal. I honestly think our friend group kind of went through that
mm-hmm.
phase of everybody just being in their own little season, in their own little
Yeah.
world. Life is life and on their end. I mean, but I'm not gonna say it don't matter, but I think it's definitely a thing. I feel like that's what communication comes in, you know, what you're
Yeah.
comfortable with communicating to your friends.
Right.
And then you know, just knowing your friends, like I got one friend that knows me, like I'm not gonna text and call like I should, because I always tell myself I need to do better with it.
Yeah.
But they know, like, that's how I am, because it take days for me to text back.
Mm-hmm.
It take days for me to answer the phone. But so she, you know, but she know, like, oh, that's just Crystal. She fine, you know.
Yeah.
And like, I just feel like you gotta know your friends.
Yeah.
And know them as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you could tell when your friends are changing in their season. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really can tell. And so you don't want to bog them down with like, girl, what's going on? Why you ain't like this? Why you ain't like that? You know what I'm saying? You just, for me, I be wanting to give my friends their space to go.
But you know,
whatever.
some people can look at that and say like, oh, you didn't check
You
on
acting
her.
funny.
You didn't, you know,
yeah.
why you didn't speak up? You didn't say. Or when they come out of that season, they're saying, oh, nobody checked on me. Nobody.
Yes.
I hear and see that a lot
all the time, and girl, that's so frustrating, because when I hear that, sometimes I'm thinking in my head like, dang, I thought I was doing right by giving you space. I thought I was doing right. Like, I thought that's what, because if it was me, I would want that space. But I know you can't love people how you would want to be loved. You know, you have to love them in their love language, I guess.
And you can, because just like we talked about the relationships and friendships.
Yeah.
If they're two in the same, then you ask those questions up front. And I'm a big person of asking questions up front to say, hey, do we have an understanding? Because moving forward, you can't throw this back in my face and say, you know, and even with my relationship, like, that's something that I did in the beginning. We talked about, like, what do you want in life? What do you know? What are your goals? What are these and that? What are some things you enjoy? Everything ain't always so serious. What are, you know, and you can do that with friendships too.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, if you got a friend already and you're meeting a new friend, it's okay to say, oh, girl, let me FaceTime my friend. Oh, girl, she likes me to call her all the time. Like, if I get some information and this and that, she like, what about you? That's your way of saying, instead of just making it seem like you're just so overbearing. When the whole time, like we do. We like to be on the phones with our friends all day. We like to, you know, talk and say, oh, girl, I just saw this new pair of shoes. Girl, did you see this on Facebook? Girl, did you know. So asking questions up front to see what people are really comfortable with, because you don't want it to be thrown back in your face later.
That's true.
You can't, I'm going to tell you, if you're going to be my friend, you can't come back and say nothing to me. About anything, because when I say I'm so easygoing that you can come back and we can talk about anything. No conversation is difficult, even the ones that are difficult.
Girl, I can agree to that. When I say I'm so easygoing as a friend, like, I'm so easygoing. Like, I even had situations where, like, I would try to make up with a friend, and the energy would just be different, and I don't feel like it was on my end, and I don't know, it may have been on my end from her perspective or their perspective or whoever. But I feel like if we could forgive these niggas, we could forgive our friend girls or friend guys, whatever the case may be. So
sure, we'll take them back quicker than a refund.
You hear me? And so I feel like friendships can be repaired. Friendships can be restained, and you know.
So let me ask you this, because you said something about like you feel like you can repair and things like that. Can you realize when you are in the wrong? Like, do you really take time
accountability?
To sit back? Right, accountability.
No. Yes, you should. I'm not saying you should.
I'm asking you.
Oh, yes. Now, if I'm in the wrong, yes. That's one thing I've actually worked on.
Yeah. Is
accountability, because I can be wrong. Right. I can be wrong. And I realize that. And I always ask one of my friends or either of my friends, like, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Don't let me feel like I'm right.
Say that a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Just tell me, and then because I would feel like I'm right until somebody tells me
right. I think we all would, especially because we get in those little moves where we like, no, I ain't wrong, and I ain't saying nothing first, and I ain't doing this and that, because she should have, or he should have.
What about what you should have?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always think about that. I always try to think about two different sides. I've worked on that. I have worked on that. I definitely.
Well, I think that's good because we all need to take accountability, and I feel like the older we get, the more you should definitely be able to recognize and come to the realization that, maybe I was in the wrong, or maybe I should have said this better, or maybe I could have done this better.
Yeah.
And until then.
Oh, and that's the big thing, accountability. And friendships, relationships, family, personal, accountability. Like, I can accept somebody saying I was wrong, or saying I was wrong. I said this wrong. My intentions weren't like this. It came off like this. I can accept that. Then you just saying, no, I didn't say that. I don't remember saying that.
Like, with what you just said, I can take that and go so far. But if you was, this one right here, that's just how I am.
No. Don't you ever say nothing like that to me.
Okay.
I just feel like
we are too grown to be saying, oh, that's just how she is, or that's just how I am.
That's an excuse. No, right. That's an excuse because people choose to be who they are and how they are. And
it's an excuse for them to do
what they want to do.
However they want to do them. And that's not okay.
I can't take that. I can't take that. Like, and I will not. Like, nobody's finna sit up in my face and tell me, oh, she just do that. That's just how she is. Okay, that's just how she is.
Okay,
that's just how she
deal
is
with you. Then. Right.
Yeah, right. I'm not doing that. And you pick and choose to be how you want to be to a person as a friend, and I'm going to pick to not be your friend.
Right. And then I remember saying this like years ago. I was like, that's just how I am. And when I said it for that last time, I was like, and
that's so selfish to say. I think that's selfish.
And that's exactly how I felt. I was just like, well, who you think you are? Because you have to realize. And then being in the field of social work made me realize that is just not acceptable because. You choose to be the way you want to be.
You choose to be that
and you
way.
Can choose to change.
You choose to change.
And I really feel like that everybody can change because I feel like I had the nastiest attitude. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. A lot of people can say that they feel like some people will say, oh, you laugh so much, you this and that, but some people will say like my attitude was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And one day this lady told me my hair was pretty. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I need to get it done or something,
Wasn't accepting the compliment.
And she was like, she told me to come on back. When I say that lady read me. Read me. I couldn't even be mad.
That's all it take though. That's all it take.
I love that lady to death.
Really?
Literally. I couldn't stand seeing her. But after she told me by myself, because I'm like, nobody tells me about myself. They just let me walk around and be like, that's just how I am. And when she said that, I was like, you know what, lady?
You're right.
And I appreciate that. Like, I still remember that to this day. Oh, yeah. And that right there really helps me be a better person and a better friend. Like, that's good. And I just don't accept that's just how I am. Because when I said it for that last time, I was like, but I can change. Mm-hmm. Because I was changing. I was growing. Life was life. And I've gone through experiences. And it was just shaping me. Like, life was just shaping me. And I was like, you know what? I can be a better friend. I can be a better girlfriend, wife, sister, daughter.
We can always do better. Like, always.
Yeah. And I saw that as an opportunity to grow. Mm-hmm. Now, that's what I mean by open-minded, too. When you see those opportunities for growth and you know how to navigate through those, you can be my friend.
Oh, yeah. I like
or there's somebody that can be around me.
Yeah.
If you cannot.
That's open to grow.
Some people are meant to stand beside you for that minute at the concert or whatever, and then you go your separate and never see this person again. Or if you do, it's a hey and bye. And some people you can go through life with. They can grow with you. They can experience things with you. Some people can do that. Everybody don't get that luxury when it comes to me, especially at the age of 30. I ain't got time.
I can agree.
I ain't got time.
In the church say, amen.
Okay.
So, yes, I love that. I'm glad you said something about, like, you kind of touched on this, but not specifically. My thing is, are there a such thing as good friends, bad friends? Either. I mean, I think
yes.
I think they're bad friends, and that I'm saying that because of the lack of awareness, a lack of accountability, and those are the two things right there. And awareness, I mean, like you just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you're not aware of where you're messing up at. You just keep
Right.
doing it. You just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Keep offending, keep offending, keep offending.
So do you
keep
think that's a
offending.
bad friend, or that's a friend that's just not aware, like nobody has ever told them? Like I said,
I think
with
those
me.
are two traits of a bad friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because how can you be a friend to somebody?
So would you be willing to keep a friend that has done wrong and don't know how to take accountability, and they're willing to change? Like you can have a conversation with a friend, they're willing to change.
Willing to change, yes. I could take that. I could take that. I'll take that, but I would have to see the change.
How fast would you want that change to be? Because I ain't got all day.
I ain't gonna say that. And see, that's where my leniency comes in, because I know, like, people don't come wrapped pretty and in a package with a bow on it. You know, you gotta put time into people, but not a lot of time, because you got those people, you know, like I said before, that take you for granted. And you just get burnt out on that, and then you realize that, like, this is not working for me anymore.
So let me ask you, because when you say that, because I know this is something that I would struggle with. If I had to let a friend go, like what?
How
would
to do it?
Yeah, like how do
I
you?
don't know.
How do you let a bad friend go?
Just stop talking to him. I hadn't figured that out.
That's a hard one.
The friends that I'm no longer friends with, I don't even want to call them ex-friends, because who does that? But like the people that I'm no longer friends with, I've never had a conversation where I was like, I don't think we should be friends anymore. I think we should just go our separate ways. We just went our separate ways.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah.
And both of y'all probably knew that it was for the best.
Yeah. And
or somebody probably said, oh, she fake, she ain't this, and then you probably said the same thing, and y'all never talked again.
Right. And you know, it probably was something like that in between. But I only had 2 friendships that didn't work out for me, that I considered true friendships.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. Like, I mean, I don't feel no type of way about neither one of them. I mean, it's just, I feel like they was just lessons learned, and I just moved on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still can be in the room with either person,
right,
and wouldn't feel no type of way. I don't care for that. Like, I don't. Me holding a grudge against you ain't helping me in no type of way. It ain't doing it but making me old and sad and stressed. And I don't want to be none of that.
I think with my experiences with friends, I've never had to tell a friend, like, you can't be. I don't know, because I'm so afraid. I think I have said that before, like, this just ain't gonna work out.
Yeah.
And I know that's when I had my attitude was bad, and I had a lot of aggression from like life and experiences and things. And I had no problem. Like, if I cut you off, and that's just like with relationships that I've had, I would cut you off so fast and not look back.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Like, if I feel like you said, with relationships, friendship, anything, if I feel like I'm forcing you to do something, to be with me or to talk to me or be in a friendship relationship with me, then I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna take myself out of it, and I'm gonna back away. And that's just gonna be the end of it.
That's what happened with me. I felt like I was forcing myself to be a friend, because I felt like I was a good friend. Like, I was present, I was supportive, I'm always there. I'm easy to talk to. I'm always like, you cool, you good.
Yeah.
And when it becomes stressful when you're the one doing all of that, and then especially if you get in front of people and you make it seem like, oh, I ain't cool with her like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right next to calling me a lie, and I know that that's something I'm very careful about. Like, if I don't have to lie.
Yeah, that's it. I ain't gonna lie.
Lying and stealing, I can't get with it. You know. And so when it came to that, and like that actually happened to me, I'm thinking like I was considering them best friends. I'm like, oh yeah, these are my best friends.
Yeah.
And then you go and you basically act like, oh no, this is not what it is. So you have different type of friends, and you like those friends more. But I feel like I was convenient.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I feel like I was a convenient friend.
That makes sense.
And I was not okay with it. Yeah. So I was like, no, like, I'm not cool with it. Yeah. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I can see you now and say, hey. And that's it. And I'm going to keep walking.
Yeah.
Now, you can stand there and talk to yourself, but not me.
Not to talk to yourself.
Because it's one thing, like, when we talk about, like, friends being in a season and, like, they're going through something. Because, and y'all know, I pick up on every little thing,
You
and I
do.
read you like a book.
You do.
And I'm like, nah, you got to, because in all actuality, yes, you want time to yourself, but you don't want time to go down that rabbit hole like what you were saying last
that's
episode.
it.
Like we
Yeah.
would go down a rabbit hole,
Yeah.
and sometimes you need a good friend to
Yeah, you do.
to bring you out of that, like catch you,
You
like,
do.
girl, come on, let's get back to Crystal.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
You
know.
do, for real. And I feel like them are friends. Like if they can really like, I don't know if you saw on TikTok this girl, a group of
I was just about to say
girl.
that. Yep.
Okay, so here's the question, and it kind of piggyback off of what you just said.
Hold on, tell them about what the video was about.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I'm getting to it. So it was okay. How important is a friendship to you in your season? Okay.
Gotcha.
So that's the question. And then so this friend group on TikTok, one of the girls just had a baby or whatever the case may be, and the other two friends, it was 3 of them. The other 2 friends noticed that the one friend that had the baby was acting different. They was thinking like postpartum depression, checking on her and stuff like that. So these other 2 friends went to the one friend house with the baby, broke into the house basically.
Broke into the house. I think they were throwing rocks at the window.
Yeah, they were like
everything.
singing outside and everything. Like it is just like that there.
They were singing Beyonce Girl.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, like that right there.
That would be me. That would be me. We can pay for your window later. But that would be me. Girl, come to this window or come to the store.
She was, and I don't know how appreciative she was of her friends at that time. Well, after that time, because during that time, she definitely wasn't appreciative. She was mad. I could tell when she opened the door. But still, like, that's what you need. Like, friends that don't give up on you and be like, oh, she acting weird. Like, no, they probably really are going through some stuff. Especially now, like, as an adult.
And
like,
you have to ask, because I feel like when I was going through stuff, if nobody came up to me and asked me, like, girl, you good? You okay?
Yeah.
I would never have told anybody
never.
anything.
You won't. Yeah.
Unless we got around talking about it. And even then, I would still hold in.
Yeah.
Like this a support group.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, it's a support group. But you would look at it like it's a support group with strangers. And it's not, because like grief and going through life and depression, all that stuff will make people around you feel like they're not meant to be in your life.
Yeah.
And that's another topic for another day. But
it's hard to bring stuff up, like stuff that you feel ashamed about.
Yeah, but when you got true friendships, though,
it shouldn't matter.
It should not matter.
But on the opposite end of that, it's hard to
it is.
It's really hard to do that.
It is. I feel like when I was going through my season, I feel like nobody around me understood what I was going through. And I feel like everybody was enjoying life and just going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, I can't keep up with this. So I'm just gonna stay over here in my dungeon and I'm just gonna, keep strolling on Facebook and keep, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. And then if somebody asks me like, oh, you didn't do this, you done, no, I don't really care, But you wanna be there, but during that time in your life, you really can't be there,
Yeah. And I get that. Like everybody have those seasons and stuff.
And so now, when I went through that, I remember like being in my apartment and having the windows closed every day, waiting on Aaron to get to the house. I remember like I would get up, clean up, cook.
Yeah.
Every day. That was my routine. And I'm just sitting there looking at 4 walls and I'm like, Jesus, like grab me out of this. I went and got a job. I was like, I had to. And I was like, when I say I was just so sad, I wouldn't say it was a depression, but I was really emotional around that time. And I was just like, how I go from going through school, and school was tough, but I feel like, okay, I got here, I got my first apartment, I got this and that, and why am I still feeling like I don't have anything? I feel stuck. I don't know. I feel a lot of emotions that I could not tell anybody. Not my mama, not my daddy, not my mother-in-law, nobody. And when I say all of them have a way of bringing stuff out, especially my mother-in-law. That lady can sit right next to you and don't open her mouth. And I promise you, it'll make you break down because it's like she know.
Yes.
Or my mama can look at me and be like, "Girl."
Yes.
Look, she know. My daddy won't say it, but he'll give me a certain look, and I'm looking like, don't even say nothing. Don't even say nothing.
You know what was crazy? Like. Shout out to Sweet Pea. Here's my story. Like, and I told you this before. This is so off topic. But anyways, I told you this before. Like how she had called me up after I had Zai, and like she could tell, like I was so heavy in spirit, like after I had Zai, and she called me and we talked and stuff, and like she could tell I was so heavy.
She could tell.
She sat beside me on the couch at your house and everything. And she had me boo-hooing crying on that phone. Boo-hooing. I mean, breaking down in tears. But it felt relief because somebody saw me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I wasn't trying to be seen, somebody saw me.
Yeah.
And she pulled that out of me, and it was really a relief to me, and that really kind of brought me back to myself a little bit. Like, it really,
and let me tell you something. So being your friend, I felt that, and I'm like, dang, like how do I come? Because she would ask me like, she okay? She good?
Yeah.
You know, she wouldn't ask too many questions. Just, is she okay? Is she good? And I say, you know, I ask her that myself too.
Yeah.
But I felt like I hadn't had the same experience. Like I've never had a child. I've never walked in your shoes. I can empathize with you and put myself in your shoes because I know my friend is hurting at this point.
Yeah.
But as a mother and as a grown woman who's walked through life and experienced so much, that was the friendship that you needed right there. Like that's what you needed, and I couldn't give that to you, and I was okay with that. But I'm glad that somebody that was close to me could give you that.
Girl,
and that was important to me as a friend because I'm like, okay, good.
Yes,
because when I say you came out of it, you did.
And that was, I promise you, it was because of her. It really was. Like she really. It's like I was in a hole and she reached down there and grabbed me.
She got a way of pulling you out of it.
She did.
She'll call me now and be like, "Steph, what's wrong?" If I show anything, because I'm always happy. So if anything wrong, she could pick it up.
Yeah, and she always do that. She always do that. She did it another time with my mama around, and you know, and then I just kind of said what I had to say about that, and then my mom was like, "I never knew," and I was like, "Yeah."
And that's how it is with friendships too. Sometimes if we don't ask the right questions or if we don't bring the right energy, you would never know because you don't want to feel like a burden to somebody. And I feel like that's what we feel like, a burden.
And you don't want to be. You feel heavy. You like, bruh, I don't want to bring this heaviness on people.
Man,
like I'm already feeling
it's a tough space to be in.
And you know, and like we're supposed to lean on our people. We're supposed to lean on our village and stuff. That's what I feel like. That's a whole nother meaning to friendship. That is a friendship in itself.
You open up a whole nother meaning of friendship. Like when we have our group talks and stuff and we expose stuff like that we would never expose to people outside of our circle or friend group. Or like when I'm talking to my best friend, she knows a lot about me. It would hurt me to my heart to not have her as a friend. To have you as a friend or anybody in our friend group, because I feel like now that we know each other a lot better, it's a whole nother different hurt. Now I'm gonna have to be that friend and say, you hurt my feelings. I don't care. I can be upfront with you.
Yeah. And I feel like them real moments, like, if you could say like, friend, that was a bit much.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of felt some type of way. About that. But you know, I feel like those are real life, like. Those people you do life with, though, like those are your life friends.
Because it's no longer about the aesthetic. The aesthetic of friendship is all about true friendship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just what it is. Like you value it. You value friendship instead of what friendship can look like. Like I can go out with y'all all day, and people like, oh, they look so close. Y'all always doing stuff together. That don't mean nothing. If we backstabbing and you going back and saying, or you calling the other friend, girl, you saw what she said, or you saw what she did,
that
or
means nothing.
It means nothing if you have to do that. Now, I can come to you and say, okay, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You take it how you take. Come talk to me later. We'll talk about it later.
When you get mad, I'm mad.
Yeah, you mad. Okay. You call. It's okay.
I agree with that. Like, I don't know. I feel like, as far as the boundaries things, there are certain boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. Like, I feel like there's certain things you shouldn't say to your friend. Mm-hmm. And I feel like some things that do be said are things that they've always wanted to say. If that makes sense. And so that kind of makes the line a little blurry on like, is this a friendship?
Yeah.
Or is this like a benefit for you? A benefit for me? Like, what are we doing here? So I feel like, because I've seen this before in other people's friendship, like where like they would say some real crazy stuff.
Yes.
In public or around other people.
Oh yeah.
And it just blows me away. It blows me away. And I'm just like,
I I can't trust you. I can't trust your friends. I don't want to be around. I know not to say nothing.
Girl, like that will shake me to my core because that's I would never like anything anybody has told me, friend or not, family or foe, anybody that has told me anything, you will never hear it again, ever. I don't care if we fall out about you touching my baby pinky toe. I would never throw something out there and just hope it stick to the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Or just like I would never intentionally say things that I know would hurt you.
Right. Because and I've seen that like recently.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like, how can you get to that space?
How y'all, you know, and you just don't care. And
I keep going on with the conversation. Like everybody be like,
and you think people laughing with you, but they laughing at you. Yeah, and you in somebody's group chat right now because you're going to be in mine. I'm over here like,
what the?
They over here, they don't know what friendship means because how y'all, you know.
That's so bizarre to me. And you know, a lot of that is happening like, I don't know. I wouldn't say these new age friendships, but a lot of like friend groups are not really friend groups, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like I said, they like the aesthetic.
Yeah. Of a friend.
Right.
Or a friend group or whatever.
But they don't really value
like
having friends or, you know, they don't really know what it is. And like me at the beginning, like when you asked me like, well, what is a friend? I'm like, shoot, I don't know. I just know what I would
expect
like,
or
right.
like to see. Expectation, I don't know. That's a little iffy. But yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I feel like you're allowed to have expectations.
Of a friend?
Yeah.
Why so?
Because like I expect you to support like I do because everything of what we're saying, like these are your expectations. It's just like going into a job and you ask them and they ask you, what do you expect from this job? You tell them everything you want or what you expect out of that job. And then I started asking jobs like, what do y'all expect out of me? Because these are the qualities that you want.
I got you.
To show up and do their job. Yeah. These are the qualities that I want in a friend to show up.
And that's true. I think
even if we're different, we're allowed to have different opinions. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, but this is what I expect. I expect the honesty. I expect you to be respectful.
Yeah.
Like you can't throw a joke out there at me and think like I was just fun. Oh well, girl, you know I was just playing. You know, but that's and I'm okay with saying that's not okay with me because that's a part of boundaries too.
Yeah. I get that. I don't know. Like, far as expecting certain things, I agree with the respect and crossing the boundaries and things like that, but like expecting people to be a good friend to you, I don't think that's good because what I consider to be a good friend,
right,
you may not be that. So if
you're gonna be my friend, that's just what I expect, and I'm okay with saying that because if you cannot give that to me, I'm okay with you saying you can't give that to me.
Okay, I'll take that. Like if I could say to you, hey Stephanie, I expect this, that, and third, and you're like, okay, I can do this, but not that.
Right, and then
it's on me then.
To say, right,
it's on me
but
then.
I would want you to be like, why? You know, because me, I would ask like, well, why you say that?
Yeah, and
you might say, I don't know. You know how I was raised. Yeah. I can work with it if you are willing to at least work with me. Meet me halfway.
Yeah,
but if you just downright say, like I'm just loud. It's just my family country. This is what we do. We say what come to our mind. Mm-mm. Well, I'm not okay with you blasting me in front of our other friends or saying stuff just because you think it's funny. I'm just not okay with it. And it may be funny, but it's not funny to me.
Yeah. That's respectful.
TikTok. It just came up with DDG's sister. Have you seen that? Her sister TT. She made an outfit. Mm-hmm. I liked it. She went to Rolling Stone party or show or something like that.
Rolling Stone concert.
It was I can't really call what it was.
Yeah.
But she went with two of her friends. And she made this outfit. Now me, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I love the outfit. I love her hairstyle. Everything about it was really cute to me. Mm-hmm. But her friends, this guy walked up to her and he was like, he gave her a compliment, but it was like a backhanded compliment because he came behind and was like, basically like she looked a mess. Mm-hmm. And her two friends that were with her were laughing. Like they just thought it was so funny. He just kept going on and on and on. And I'm just looking like, it is no way somebody would have stood in front of me and talked about any of my friends. If my friend brought a friend with us and it's just an associate or somebody that just came with them, you will not say nothing to them. Like you don't even know her. But her friends laughed at her and you can tell like her about her body language, she was uncomfortable.
Facts. I don't like that. Like,
she was very uncomfortable with them doing it. So like now everybody on TikTok is talking about how like they were not good friends.
Absolutely. I 100% agree, because if somebody coming for my friend, you better believe we coming for you.
Okay, it took a girl that didn't even know her. I don't know if the girl knew her or not,
Yeah.
but I was reading comments. They was like, oh, it took a girl that didn't know her, but this girl walked up. Beautiful girl. She walked up and she was like, no, like you need to go. And she made him like,
Yeah,
and then he started, talking about her, and she was okay with it.
And
Like,
that's another thing.
do what you
weird.
say.
Y'all weird. Like, what do y'all get
People
this
can be very
audacity
weird
to make fun of a black woman, or just a woman in general? Like,
right.
Y'all just so weird. Anyways, that's off topic.
But you could tell he made her uncomfortable, and when she got home, her boyfriend was like, see, that's why I don't go nowhere without her, and he would have been there to protect her. And I think she ended up selling those clothes, and I think the last I read was like she got $10,000 off, and I was like, I would have sold every single thing I had on in that video, because then that made you trending. A door will open for you.
Yep.
From something negative like that.
Yep.
So y'all keep laughing.
Yep.
Keep laughing.
That's all they did. They put her in the right position.
Okay.
That's true. Oh, girl, that was good. That was good. I don't know, like I was saying about the expectations, I've learned that when I expect myself and other people, I get let down.
Yeah.
Because they don't do what I would do.
Right.
And then I'm mad because why you ain't do what I would do.
You don't get right, but we are all different. And
I get that. Yeah,
it's okay with us being different.
I'm learning that. I know.
But
I like that. So, but anyways.
Well, yeah, y'all, we talked about a lot today.
Yes.
I hope y'all can look back to see if you are a good friend, or if the people that are around you are people that you would want around you.
Think about what type of friend you are. If you're a good friend, bad friend, what type of traits you have as a friend. Do some self-discovery as a friend.
Self-assessment, yeah.
Yeah. And we need those self-assessments for sure.
But, y'all, to end this great conversation that could go on and on and on, because we will make it go on and on and on. But to end it, we want to end with a positive quote, okay, y'all? A friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. Okay? Right. So we will see y'all on the next one. Bye.
Will you take part in